Hey guys, and welcome to the June 2019 Creativity Tarot readings. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Kayleigh Jean. If you're new to my channel, you are welcome to use these readings for your sun, moon, or your rising signs. So go ahead and check all of them if one of them doesn't resonate. And I just wanted to say to you, thank you so much to everyone who has been supporting my channel. This month, our Inner Workings topic is all about self-love. So if you're somebody who enjoys my channel and you get something beneficial from these readings and you want to support the work that I'm doing here, I am so grateful to you. And you have a couple of options on how to do that. So the Inner Workings topic is going to be posted on Vimeo, and it's going to be posted on the normal donations page. So if you prefer to donate to support my channel through my website, that option is revamped this time. I'm bringing it back. I was just exploring things last month. So you can donate to support this channel if you get something out of these readings and you want to say thank you. And just as an additional gift to you, I create the Inner Workings topic for each month, which is just a place for us to hang out and talk about spiritual topics. And I love hearing from you guys. And this month I am covering self-love, because it's such a buzzword and it's such a big topic, but I wanted to kind of take it deeper, and I wanted to share more intimately about my personal beliefs and my own personal thoughts on the concept of self-love, what it means, and how I measure it in my own life. And I'm also offering a tarot spread to help you connect to your own relationship with yourself. So that's going to be included in the Inner Workings topic. So I hope that if you're interested in supporting my channel, you will check that out. And I also wanted to say that I am going to continue creating the Vimeo extended readings. Have been a really great way for me to go deeper with the general monthly spreads that I do for you every single month. It's just a way for you to watch the deepening of the energies, especially if you feel that the reading is resonating to you. Then watching the extension is probably going to be even more connected to your energy, because these are just general readings, so they're not guaranteed to resonate with everyone every single month. Okay guys, those are my announcements. I will see you in the readings. Okay, Virgo, let's get into your June reading. As I was tuning into your energy, I was given an impression that has to do with dance. So this could be a metaphor or it could be literal for some of you, but June is a time of radical self-expression for Virgos. And what I was seeing in the meditation was actually a person. I was seeing kind of like a group of people kind of dancing in a circle, but then one person was almost kind of seized by the power of the moment, and they started dancing kind of like more wildly and crazy than everybody else kind of around them. But then they sort of moved into like the center of the circle, and everybody else around them started kind of like clapping and like kind of moving with the rhythm of the person that had sort of been taken over by this inspiration. So it's a really interesting vision, and what I feel like it means for you, Virgo, is just this potential for exhilaration this month in June. And it really makes me feel like there's some element in your life where you need to let go, and you need to kind of let your freak flag fly, or let your kind of strangeness or your weirdness out, like unleash that Virgo, you know, because you guys are you can be so controlled in terms of your actions and your behaviors in life. And when you let loose, it is a sight to see for everyone else. It is like, whoa, it catches the attention of the people around you, but in a good way. So I feel like there's potential this month for you to kind of be moved, I want to say, by spirit, Some of you, this could literally play out in like an expressive way, like I mentioned, through dance or through art. You could find yourself just losing yourself in a moment of inspiration, for example, or in a moment of just really being aligned with like this energy that you're channeling. And that could be very creative for you. That could be like the most productive month for you if you are a writer, or if you're a creator, or if you are an artist of any kind. It could be amazing. Like you could write an entire novel, in like a 2-week period or something, if you just allow yourself to get lost in that vibration and really let yourself be moved by that inspiration. But this could also play out just in terms of unusual practical things. Like maybe you're a Virgo that doesn't plan on moving, but for some reason something comes up where you are moving your house all of a sudden, or you're selling your house, or you're selling your car, or you are breaking up with someone, or you're just like, you know what, like this is where I need to take my life, like this is the direction I'm going in. And there's this optimism and there's this energy of like really being in the world and throwing yourself completely into it and being moved spiritually in that process. So there's something really lovely about the energy of June for you, Virgo. This also, I'm feeling, could be a really good opportunity for your finances, but you're going to have to really trust your intuition, I feel, when it comes to practical matters this month. So definitely rely on your intuition and your instincts when it comes to your finances, and also keep track of things too, because if you have some money coming in, or if you have the opportunity to create another source of income this month, have like everything thought out on paper, how you want that to go, but and like what you want to use the money for, or how you're going to invest it, and have sort of somewhat of a loose outline for yourself, because I feel like you're gonna want to have some direction. But overall, the ultimate message that I was getting for you in meditation, Virgo, is you are beautiful. You are vital. You are, I don't know even how to completely express it, but I just feel like there's a tendency to tell yourself that you are too young, or you're too old, or you aren't good looking enough, or you aren't smart enough, or that you got in at the wrong time, or that everybody else is already doing something. And the message is like you are it. You're it, Virgo. You're it. You are beautiful. If this is about a romantic relationship, or about bringing in romance after being single for a long time, for some of you Virgos, this is about like owning your sexuality and your sensuality, and just realizing that you're beautiful and you're amazing. Like you are at this point in your life where you're alive. And maybe you had gone through some periods where you felt more detached, or like you were shutting down emotionally or physically, not taking care of yourself, not being open enough to the physical energy that would heal you, or the physical experiences that would heal you, or the creative experiences that would heal you. I just feel like for some Virgos, you can go through these periods of creative drought or emotional drought because you can be so controlled. You can be so self-controlled. So I feel like there's a taste of your natural born human freedom this month. There's a taste of you recognizing that you are free, and that you are you're everything that you want to be. Like that's the funny thing about a Virgo, is like they have this really clear image of what they want to be. A lot of signs have a struggle with that, a lot of signs don't necessarily have like a vision. Virgos definitely have a vision, but sometimes they just don't see how they already are living that vision. So one practice that could be really helpful as you go into the month of June is that think about the things that you wanted in your past, Virgo, that you accomplished already. And think about how maybe you really wanted to become, something in your professional life for years and years, and then you accomplished that, and now you've been doing that for a long time and you're used to it. Well, think about how you made that happen for yourself. Or if you really wanted to work on having a great relationship and now you're in one, it's like, don't forget that you created that for yourself, and don't forget that you still got it, Virgo. If you're thinking that maybe you don't have the creative edge anymore, or that you aren't as, I don't know, that you're not as capable as you used to be, or that you're not as excited about something as you used to be, realize that you are, and just recognize too the power of your expectation. Because when you expect that you are enough, and when you believe that your inspirations and the truth of like the accurate way to behave in a situation to get the best outcome for yourself, when you believe that that intuition is going to come to you, when you believe that you know what you're supposed to say or do in a given moment to create the impact that you want to create, it's going to happen because your expectation is creating it. So harness again the power of your expectation, your positive expectation for yourself, Virgo, because you can accomplish a lot this month, and you can also like experience a taste of you, like the beauty of being you this month, Virgo. So let's take a look at your cards. I also was getting the impression that some of you Virgos could be doing something kind of nice for yourself. Either maybe going and getting a facial, or doing something more creative with your appearance, maybe getting some new clothes. If you are getting some new clothes this month, Virgo, I want to encourage you to sort of push your boundaries a little bit. Maybe try wearing an outfit that you wouldn't normally wear for yourself. Like maybe you really like something that's a little bit dramatic or a little bit more colorful than you would normally wear, and you really love it, but you're like, oh, that's not for me. Like, I wouldn't be able to pull that off. Challenge that tendency this month, Virgo. Get a little wild. Get a little crazy. Do something that you don't normally expect from yourself. And I think you're going to be really happy with the way that you feel when you're expressing yourself in that way. Okay, Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. Sweet, sweet, gorgeous Virgos. What is going on with my Virgos? I feel like Spirit is just giving you a huge hug with this reading. It's just a very sweet energy. Okay. And we're also going to take a look at your Animal Spirit Oracle cards. I'm feeling this top, and actually this one. Okay, so let's take a look. We've got Dolphin, crossed by the Moth. I feel like this is so perfect given just everything that we were getting during the meditation. With the Dolphin card, it tells me that June is going to be a month to have fun. So Virgo, I want you to think now, if you're watching this before June officially begins, just what would be the most fun things that you could plan for yourself to experience in June? What does your heart really want? How playful do you want to be? What is your prerogative when it comes to delight? And even the word delight means of the light. So what would brighten you up? Like what would be something that you could do maybe on a daily or a weekly basis that would bring a little bit of fun and humor and playfulness into your daily experience? I want you to really think about that and make a list of some things that you could do for yourself that would be maybe have like a low impact on you, for example, financially or in terms of your time, but would really remind you to stay uplifted and remind you to return to your source of joy on a daily basis. For example, with me, one of the things that really makes me feel amazing is in the mornings, I always either write down my dreams if I remember them, or I will read from a novel for at least 10 minutes to like 30 minutes in the morning, like before I do anything else, before I start going into the day for other people. I always like to do something that is just to increase my personal joy, because it raises my vibration and it helps me to access the highest truth for myself. Because I feel like when I'm when I'm ignoring my joy, or when I'm ignoring little things that I could be doing that have a very, very little cost to me, then I start to get a little bit more burnt out and exhausted a lot faster. So for you, Virgo, I feel like this is about finding what those little things that you can insert into your day are that will lift your spirits, raise your vibration. Raising your vibration is really important. It is actually key to being able to live your best life, because when your vibration is higher, you're going to be able to witness more opportunities when they come to you, and you're going to be tuning into more subtle frequencies and messages from spirit. You're going to notice synchronicities more when your vibration is high. You're going to be able to interact more meaningfully with the universe when you have a higher vibration. So remember to return to your joy throughout the month. One of the things that is influencing you is the moth. So this is a creature that is really drawn to light, and it's typically a creature that is out at night. So there's this energy with this card showing that the influence for you this month is that you may feel in some ways like you are coming out of the shadows, coming out of perhaps a period of either introversion or isolation, and really seeking clarity, or seeking visibility, seeking whatever the light represents for you in your life. It's like that is where you're turning your focus. You've had enough of the dark. And again, there's nothing wrong with the dark or the light. They are neutral, but it seems like you're coming out of a period of like maybe feeling like you've been hiding yourself a little bit, or hiding like your true feelings, or just putting yourself a little bit in the shadows in some way. And now you're ready to kind of come out and experience a bit more joy, or experience a bit more fascination with life. So that just looks really fun. All in all, I feel like the energy of this month is actually really fun for you. And we have the King of Wands with the Eight of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, the Two of Wands, the Moon with the Nine of Swords, and we have the Seven of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. So I'm just going to tune in here for a moment. Okay, so what I'm seeing here with the King of Wands and the Eight of Swords as you go into the month of June, Virgo, is that perhaps there's an area of your life where you have created something in your mind to be a little bit more impactful or intense than it actually is. And the reason I want to say that is because you have the King of Wands, which is a very fiery, very powerful, very personally responsible card. And then we have the Eight of Swords coming up. So it's showing next to this like explosive energy of the King of Wands, we have the Eight of Swords, which is like getting tied up in your own personal power, or like your own personal power is getting caught up in your mental constructs. So what this tells me is that with the King of Wands, what's actually being highlighted here is the drama potential with the King of Wands and the explosiveness of the King of Wands. This is a card that's typically associated with entrepreneurship for me, and also just creativity and a sense of like manifest destiny. So the thing that I want to say, Virgo, is that the Eight of Swords coming up next to the King of Wands makes me feel like you have built up this idea in your mind that you are in control of your destiny, and you've taken that idea too far. There is such a thing as too much of a good thing, and I think it's really great when we maybe, for example, we get on like a spiritual path. For example, Virgo, I'm going to talk to you up here. When we get on a spiritual path and we realize, oh my gosh, I have the ability to create my own reality. Like, that's amazing. And then at the same time you go, oh shit, that's kind of scary, because you could accidentally think a negative thought and then, or say something negative and then realize, oh my gosh, am I putting out negative energy? Is that going to come back to me? And that type of thing. And I think that we can when we see the King of Wands coming up with the Eight of Swords, it's like we can over evaluate our own input, and we start to become overly controlling of our journey when we have these kinds of energies, because the King of Wands thinks he's the boss all the time. And I'm not saying that you think that you're the boss, but the equivalent of this, like how this looks in your life, Virgo, could be that if something is going a little bit wrong in your life, or if something happens that triggers you, or if you have to face some kind of unexpected thing, or if you're just struggling, or you're feeling like you're struggling a little bit with the creation of a project, for example, or with getting settled in your life in any way, you can overvalue or like put too much emphasis on like the idea that you are creating that for yourself, and you can start beating yourself up about it. And then you get people, and this kind of translates to the thing that we hear, we all probably hear this from time to time from people in our lives, like, am I attracting this? How am I attracting this? And sometimes, to be honest, Virgo, sometimes it's just the cycles of life. And the more, for example, that you look into astrology, the more that you look into transits and progressions and all of these influences that are going on around us, we see that it's actually true that life is a cycle. Time is not a straight line, it's a circle. Things go up and they go down. And so you can't always assume that every little thing that goes wrong in your life or that presents a dilemma in your life is because of you. Or you can't always assume that you can solve everything in your life. Sometimes you have to just surrender, Virgo, and that's kind of what I'm seeing now. There is that attitude shift towards surrender that comes in, so I want to show you where that happens. In the second week of June, we have the Page of Pentacles and the Two of Rods. So look at this Page of Pentacles. This is definitely you, Virgo, in the second week of June. The Page of Pentacles is holding his pentacle. It's hovering from his hand, so he's not gripping it tight with like an iron grip. He's allowing it to hover. His eyes are closed, and he looks quite serene. This is you, Virgo. This is you tuning in to your best outcomes for yourself. You could be using divination, you could be using dream work, you could be using journaling, or just listening to your inner voice. And at that time, around the middle of the month, I feel like you're gaining some sort of serenity and some kind of peace with whatever you're trying to manifest in your life, whether it's a home, a business, a relationship, whatever's most important to you. You are relaxing your hold on that destiny, that potential destiny, and you're allowing yourself to take a step back with the Two of Wands and see it from a bigger picture. And you're going to start to see pathways of development that you didn't see before when you were too close to it, and therefore assuming things about your journey that were not helpful to you. So what I want to say is, like, surrender leads to new ideas in the second week of June. The third week, we have the Moon and the Nine of Swords. So we're definitely going to have to get some more clarity on this in your extension reading. But with the Moon and the Nine of Swords, There's a very strong nighttime feel to these cards when we put them next to each other. We see the crescent moon in both of these images, but they are facing different directions, showing me that one of them is waning and one of them is waxing. So there's a sense of you being uncertain, perhaps, what kind of phase you find yourself in at this time in your life. And you, again, this comes back to the idea that I was just talking about with cycles and life not being a straight line, but being a circle and a repeating circle. It's a wheel. And so for you, it's like you're wondering, am I waxing or am I waning? Am I going up or am I going down? You could be experiencing as well some very strong dreams, like an activation of your dream life going on in the third week of June. So I would definitely say for those of you Virgos who are more leaning towards the psychic persuasion, or if you tend to get vivid dreams or messages through your dreams or through your psychic senses, that's going to actually be a really powerful time. But I want you to also take some measures to make sure that you're sleeping good enough during that third week of June, because there's something going on with your sleep then. So what I'm going to suggest is that you will do whatever you do. I know some people like to take different supplements or use different herbs. Something that I always find really helpful is to just do a very strenuous workout before, probably like at least in the afternoon, not too late at night, because sometimes that can have the reverse effect. If you work out in the evening, it can sort of wake you up. But in the morning or in the afternoon, do like a nice, significant, good workout. Definitely get all of that anxiety, all that stress out of your body, and drink plenty of water, eat good whole foods, reduce your sugar intake. These are all some good things that I find to be really helpful to make sure that I get a good night of sleep. Because if I do a good workout, I'm drinking plenty of water, and I'm eating whole foods, and I'm satisfied, I do tend to sleep better than if I do the opposite of those things, which isn't often anymore. So, but this is really good. This is something that can really help you to release any excess anxious energy. Is exercise, and just taking care of yourself will help you feel more grounded during periods where you may feel a little bit more kind of like head in the sky, or feeling a little bit ungrounded when it comes to feeling relaxed. Like you may struggle with that a little bit in the third week of June, but I think you're going to gain some really valuable insights at that time. So I'm not going to say that it's all bad, but I do think that there could be, for some of you, a little bit of an issue with sleep. So that's something that I am seeing there. But I do feel like there's going to be a good inspiration or something kind of coming up from your unconscious mind with the crab or the lobster that's coming up out of the water. So there's going to be something good that comes of this. So just keep that in mind. But by the end of the month of June, there is some kind of victory for you, Virgo. So we have the Seven of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. The Seven of Pentacles is, for me, a time card. So it's about, again, cycles. They're really hitting us over the head with this. By the end of June, it looks like something that you've been sort of patient with, something that you've been waiting on, something that you have allowed yourself to surrender to, like the amount of time that it would take for you to accomplish something. For example, like with the agricultural domain of this card, it's like you plant a seed and you don't expect to get your melons tomorrow. You know that it's going to take 3 months or 6 months or whatever. This is saying that something that you have been tending to for quite a while is paying off at the end of June. So there's some kind of payment for past labors coming in at the end of June. And I feel like you're going to be pretty happy with the with what's coming through. It could be financial, because this is Pentacles as well as Six of Wands, can be about a financial victory, but it can also be about, for example, waiting for a while to get to know someone before taking your relationship to the next level in intimacy. Or it could be waiting for your lover to come to you, waiting for that perfect relationship to manifest, and then you meet somebody, or your partner asks you to marry them, or something that you've been waiting for kind of comes through, and it's the result of your own patience and dedication. That's why this is happening, Virgo. Don't tell yourself anything different, because that's really the reason why this is going on, is because you've been putting out good energy and you've been committed. You've done the hard work. You've done your homework. Virgos do their homework. If you're passionate about what you're doing, a Virgo is going to take care of everything. I'm not saying you're all perfect in school, because we all have so many different astrological placements, but a Virgo that's passionate, like with the Six of Wands, is like a passion card as well. If you're passionate about what you're doing your homework, you're doing your extra credit, you are like taking it to the next level, because you just know what you want, you know what you like, and your standards are high. So this just feels to me like a lot of hard work is paying off at the end of the month. So that looks really good. So let's take a look at your clarity cards. I'm just going to pull some cards to get a sense of some more information about the energies, and we're also going to look at the outcome of the dramatic tension that we see during each week. And I'm also going to look for practical tips and suggestions for you on how to maximize the benefits and the advantages that you get from each week of the month. And I'm also going to look at relationships, a relationship of importance for you, Virgo. Virgo. Okay. I'm also going to get you your Soul Trees Oracle deck message. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. And I'm going to read you now your Bob Ross message. I absolutely love this little deck. It's actually a playing card deck, but it's so, so sweet, and it has little quotes on it from Bob Ross, and I'm just obsessed with it. And I feel like it's so accurate, especially when I do readings for creative people. So I'm going to be drawing a card for Virgos, a little message from the Bob Ross deck for Virgos. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. Okay, and let's see here. So I'm going to turn these over. King of Swords, Knight of Cups, Five of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Eight of Swords again, with the Queen of Cups, and we got King of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, lots of cups and pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, Four of Wands, Two of Cups, so beautiful. And I'm going to look at your energy. So we have, wow, lots of wands. Two of Wands and the King of Wands. This person's energy. We have the Six of Pentacles and the Death card. And what's between you is the Star. So beautiful. And I'm going to read you your Bob Ross card because it's so, so sweet. He says, use absolutely no pressure, just like an angel's wing. Use actually no pressure, just like an angel's wing. So he's talking about the pressure of the paintbrush. And I feel like this is a very good metaphor for just life. That's all the thing about everything that Bob Ross said is just a metaphor for life, I feel. So that really matches too with the dolphin energy and the message that came through in the meditation for you, Virgo. This is a time for you to really be gentle on yourself and really prioritize joy. I feel like we get that message And it's easy to discount that message, to prioritize joy, to consciously choose joy in our lives is something that we often need to be reminded to do, because life has a heaviness to it. We have Saturn influences, that make us feel like we're burdened, and that make us feel like we're running our lives kind of based on the demands that are placed on us externally, and living therefore by the environmental factors rather than by our inner assertions for ourselves. And that's bringing in joy is something that's very personal. We are going to also look at the bottom of the deck in your extension reading with the sun. So in your extension reading, I'm just going to cover all of the additional information and advice that we see in these cards. I'm also going to take a peek at your oracle card, which is Teach and Never Ending Story. So we're going to look all into these, and I'll be pulling some extra clarity cards as well. So I just want to reiterate, I don't expect anybody to purchase the Vimeo readings. I hope that you guys understand that when I'm doing these readings, I am really just offering something additional. Your main messages are already came through, so please, if you want to support my channel, if you get something beneficial from my content every month and you enjoy my readings, get a Vimeo reading once in a while and listen to the extra messages if you're inspired and if you're excited and if you want more information. That's what they're here for, and they're here for you to be able to continue on this journey with me every month. But it is absolutely not an expectation or anything like that. I got some comments before where people seemed to be kind of upset that I was offering these, and I didn't really understand, because I've been giving the regular readings the same and even longer than before. So I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from, that these readings do take quite a lot of time and energy. So I always like to give you something extra if you're supporting me, which is why I do the inner workings, and it's why I do now the Vimeo readings, because if you are directly supporting my channel and helping me to do these readings, in which I don't normally get paid anything for a large portion of the month as I'm working on them, this is just a way for us to just continue working together. But it's absolutely just up to you, and I hope that you guys understand where I'm coming from. So I'm sending you so much love. Hope you have an amazing month in June. Thank you for being here, Virgos. I love you guys so much, and I hope that you have just an awesome month full of lots of abundance, prosperity, and peace. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.